Welcome to Designed for Connection. This is the channel where we talk about the truths of science, psychology, and faith to help you flourish in the relationships that matter most to you. So, I want to talk a little bit more about shame, how to recognize it, that shame attendant's voice that rarely shows up as, shame on you. Most of the time, it's going to show up in really different ways. So, if we are in a defended place, if we are, feeling protective of ourselves in relationship, we can often be very, very critical. So if criticism is showing up towards yourself or towards another, if that judgment is coming up, like that is such a stupid thing to say. That is such a, whether it's to yourself or to somebody else, that's the shame attendant's voice. You know, if it is, sometimes it can show up. In addition to that, is annoyance and rage and anger, oftentimes rage that is covering up um, our shame, our deepest shame. I see this a lot with men in particular, who have had the unfortunate experience of in some way being, as a child or even a teenager, being kind of put in the place, whether intentionally or not. Most of the time, it's not. Single mom, or a woman who is married to a man who is either not emotionally mature or present, will make their sons their partner. And I don't think it's an intention. I really don't. But I think a result of that is major rage because little boys or teenagers feel like they should know how to do this. They don't know how, and it's not a position that they're supposed to be in with their mothers, and so it can come out with their wives as major rage. And the root of it really is shame, of feeling inadequate, not feeling like you know how to do this, and then not having a father who shows you how to be intimate, how to show up well for the wife and the children that you love. Um, okay, another way in relationship, and this actually I see this most of the time with women. Men can do this too, but I think it's really common in women just because we are relational creatures. But when we feel shame or we feel even disconnection from our partner, and because we feel disconnection, oftentimes we're feeling, or not consciously, but we're starting to touch into that root of shame that I'm not pretty enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy of my husband's attention, or understanding. And so rather than, you know, just saying what we need to say in a sentence or two, and I say we because I'm guilty of this, we can over explain and over talk. We think if we get louder, if we have more words, then we can get our point across and then we'll feel connected again. So it's kind of related to that anxious attachment experience, over talking, over explaining. Sometimes our armor can show up as over planning. If I can just be busy and plan everything out, and if it can go this certain way, then I'm in control, and it keeps that illusion going that I don't need God, and it keeps the illusion going that I can control relationships and make everything go the way I think it should in order to feel safe and secure. It's an illusion, it's a lie. That's the shame voice. You got to make sure it all goes just right, right? Okay, and so then on the flip side of all of these, there's, what I've been describing, the critical voice, the anger, the rage, the over talking, over explaining, the over planning. In general, that tends to go with that anxious attachment experience. The avoidant attachment experience is another way that we armor. It's another way that we protect ourselves from that deep seated shame. And so, the way that that shame attendant might show up, Again, it's not going to say shame on you, but it is going to say you can't trust her. You need to just go in your room and pull away. You need to leave. Yeah, just I'm done. How many times have I heard a couple say one partner in that coupleship will say, I'm just done. You know, now of course they're done with whatever the interaction is, with that cycle, that pain cycle. But being done with the relationship, I don't think so. Otherwise you wouldn't be in this office. But yeah, and then folks who are tend to be a little more avoidant can also be really busy, like so busy that they don't have time or energy to really connect. Like I'm so busy. I've got all this to do. It's another way that shame attendant can show up and keep us from the connections that our soul deeply longs for. So the avoidant attachment can also, I'm looking at my notes here for just a second. We can also distract ourselves. Again, that kind of goes along with the busyness or overworking. And then we can also just be silent. Like, I don't have anything to say. I might listen to you and I might even look at you. I might be looking at you like you're crazy, but I'm going to just be silent because I got nothing to say. Yeah. And that shame attendant might be whispering, yeah, just be quiet. Yeah, just watch the crazy unfold in front of you and you can take the higher ground somehow. Again, it's lies, it's lies, it's lies, it's more lies that keep us disconnected. And that shame attendance intention every single time is to kill, to steal, and destroy, especially your relationships, because shame and hell knows that when we thrive in relationships, we thrive in life and we fulfill our purpose.